Wait, why is XRP stuck under 225 cents while billions are reportedly flowing in? A former US treasurer backs Ripple again, whales are shaking Bitcoin, and a Swiss bank just embraced Ripple's RLUSD. Is this the calm before a $5 XRP breakout, or is something much bigger being hidden from us? This isn't just trading. This is chess. Powerful players, political maneuvering, legal uncertainty, and you're stuck watching your XRP hover under $2.25. Why? What's holding this back, and what's coming next? Today, we unravel the full story. XRP stuck under 225 FS, SEC's silence explained. Here's the first brick in this wall of narrative. XRP is trapped in limbo. Ripple dropped its cross appeal on June 27. No ifs, no buts, but the SEC hasn't said a word. No statement, no press release, no court update. This silence on the SEC's appeal, it's deafening. And that silence is crushing XRP price action. Right now, XRP trades well below its 2025 peak of 33999 and the 2018 high of 3.5505. Investors are left guessing. Will the SEC officially withdraw its appeal or drag us through months of uncertainty? There's talk of a closed SEC commissioners meeting on July 10, the earliest chance for formal action. Until then, no clarity, no signal, just silence. Intel tells us that Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, is positioning this as the end of the saga. We're closing this chapter once and for all and focusing on what matters, building the internet of value. Lock in. But a single line of dialogue with no follow-up from the SEC? That leaves every investor hanging. Think about it this way. It's like a story ending on a cliffhanger, but only one character shows up on screen. Makes you wonder, was that scene filmed at all? Political smoke, SEC chair under fire. Enter the subplot. Within the SEC, voices are clashing. Former SEC enforcer John Reed Stark recently went nuclear, blasting SEC chair Paul Atkins on CNBC's Squawk Box. He didn't mince words. How can the SEC claim to protect investors against meme coins worth hundreds of millions if they assert those coins aren't securities? The SEC cannot protect investors in meme coins or any other so-called digital assets because the SEC has decided that digital assets are not securities. This is not just noise, it exposes the ultimate contradiction. If the SEC believes XRP isn't a security, why drag Ripple to court for years? If the opposite is true, then XRP is a security, and where's the clarity? This is the political and ideological battleground behind your XRP price chart. An agency publicly wavering, dissent among its ranks, and an entire market waiting on one firm decision. XRP price roadmap breakout or breakdown zones. Now let's talk money. XRP closed Friday, July 4th at $2.2219, a 1.65% drop after a 1.1% uptick the day before. The crypto market's total cap sits at around 3.28 trillion and down nearly 1.8% that day. 225 immediate ceiling. Crack this, and 232.75 comes into play. 232.275 June 30 high, next breakout zone. Hold above this, 265.53 looms. 3 and 3.3999 the majors. These unlock psychological momentum, but don't get bullish just yet. There's a floor to respect. 50-day EMA, key short-term support. 200-day EMA under that, and if both occur, 92.99 becomes the next guardrail. These aren't wild guesses, they're technical battlegrounds where money and psychology intersect. Watch them. They'll speak first when the news does. Bitcoin whales stirring the pot. But XRP isn't the only asset feeling the weight of political drama. Bitcoin is pulling intense market gravity right now. On July 4th, Arkham spotlighted something massive. $8.6 in BTC moved from 8 wallets untouched since April and May 2011, 14 years of dormancy. These Satoshi-era wallets just woke up and they moved fast, all into fresh addresses. No action, yet. Soundbite overlay, markets are already in panic mode because 8 dormant Satoshi-era BTC wallets reactivated after 14 years. 8.0 Farina. This sort of move rattles every trader watching 110 Kenlor levels. The fear? These giant adult whales are prepping supply into the market. Will they joyride through old hodlers at profit or quietly stash this to hodl anew? The counterweight. But even as whales chill markets, there's institutional oxygen being pumped in. US BTC spot ETF inflows hit $769.5 million this past week, led by BlackRock's IBOT plus 336.8 versus Fidelity FBTC 248.46 methanol, a headwind from GBTC's outflow. 84.9 men IBIT, the iShares Bitcoin Trust, has only had one outflow month since launching in Jan 2024, and now generates more ETF revenue than BlackRock's S&P 500 neighbor. ETF flows are the lifeblood of asset-level momentum. They're quiet, powerful, and long-term. Institutional quiet, retail noise. While institutions seem to be operating in stealth mode, the retail community has grown louder. Every small move by Ripple or the SEC becomes a trending topic. Twitter, now X, is flooded with posts, threads, and videos analyzing XRP's price action, potential breakout points, and when $5 debates. And amid the noise, something interesting is happening. People aren't leaving. Despite the fatigue of a 7-year journey with few fireworks, XRP's community has remained among the most active in crypto. Their faith, whether grounded in logic or loyalty, is keeping the heartbeat alive. The phrase XRP Army isn't just branding, it's a culture now, one that sees every dip as a setup and every delay as a coil tightening. Banks aren't laughing anymore. At one point, traditional finance mocked Ripple. Blockchain was a gimmick. XRP was a scam. The idea that a digital token could replace SWIFT was laughable. That laughter is fading. Today, over 300 financial institutions work with RippleNet. Central banks are experimenting with CBDCs on XRP's infrastructure. Countries like Switzerland and regulators in Dubai are approving stablecoin integrations like RLUSD. And Ripple isn't just chasing partnerships, it's applying for a US bank charter. That's a bold move. A crypto company turning into a full-blown financial institution could shift how crypto is regulated and legitimized. If Ripple becomes a licensed bank, every future SEC lawsuit will have to answer a new question. Are you suing a token or a bank? The bigger picture, a shift in global finance. Zoom out. Ripple isn't just trying to win a court case, it's trying to reshape the rails of global money movement. Banks are slow, payments get lost, fees are predatory. Ripple's promise is to fix all of that. Whether it's small remittances to families or massive transfers between nations, Ripple wants to be the new plumbing. Fast, transparent, and affordable. And XRP, it's the fluid that moves through those pipes. But every financial revolution has doubters. Ripple's progress has been slow, yes, but there's also no precedent for a private blockchain firm working with banks instead of against them. We've never seen a crypto-native company come this close to regulatory and institutional legitimacy, and yet that's where we are. The bear case, let's be honest. Despite the bullish sentiment, there's still reason to be cautious. XRP's price has underperformed compared to other top assets like Ethereum, Solana, or even meme coins. Its trading volume has declined, and regulatory risk hasn't vanished. It's only shifted shape. SEC silence can mean strategy or chaos. ETF approval odds are high, but nothing is guaranteed. Ripple's bank charter could be delayed or denied. Whales could dump instead of accumulate. And if the global economy tightens further, with tariffs, inflation, or rate hikes, speculative investments like crypto could see another pullback. In short, the future is promising, but it's still uncertain. Don't confuse patience with certainty. The $5 moment and what it means. So, is $5 a price target? Yes. But it's also more than that. It's the psychological release of 8 years of waiting. It's the moment XRP holders finally exhale and say, we were right. It's the event that turns doubters into believers, and believers into legends. But whether or not XRP gets there in 2025, one thing is clear. Ripple isn't done. The lawsuits, the setbacks, the media ridicule, none of it broke the system. If anything, it forged a tougher one. And when XRP finally breaks $5, whether tomorrow, next month, or years from now, it won't just be a win for the price. It'll be a win for belief. So whether you're in for the gains or the revolution, buckle up. Because if this really is the biggest transfer of wealth the world has ever seen, you won't want to sleep through it.